Hi everybody, my name is Alex Beach. I'm here with 3 Cloud Solutions today, and I want to talk to you all about Power BI and writing some of my favorite DAX formulas. So I've previously made a video on the calculate filter function. What I'm going to do here is talk about variables and how to work those into calculate filter to even expand on that to make that more powerful. So if you haven't seen that video or you're not familiar with calculate function in Power BI, go over, check that out, come back, then this will make a lot more sense. In saying that, let's take a look at the code and let's code this out. All right, so previously I had built this calculate filter function that is calculating the beginning balance for 2017 for all of our assets. And what we're doing here, if you'll look here, it's just calculate the sum of the beginning balance. We're going to filter this table where fiscal year equals 2017 and finance type equals assets. Pretty simple, right? So now let's say that we didn't want to know this for just 2017. Let's say we needed to know the assets for every year. So how we can do that is we can set the year into a variable. And then what that will do is it'll actually calculate that beginning balance for all of those assets, or excuse me, for that asset for each individual year. So I'll show you how that works here. So let's set this variable here. So for variable, you use the var function. Then you have to name it. So we'll just name this YR for year. And then we're going to have that equal to the fiscal year. And then anytime you set a variable, you have to hit return at the end. So there we go. We have set our variable. We have set the fiscal year to the year variable. So now what we're going to do is we're going to update our filter, right? We've got the calculate sum of the beginning balance. We are filtering the table where fiscal year equals 2017. But we're going to take this out and we're going to say where fiscal year equals year. Throw that in there. And kind of how this works is when this goes through each row, it gets here, it says, okay, here's the fiscal year. It's 2017. Let's set that in a variable. So when it goes to do this calculation, it's filtering for all of 2017. But then when it gets to this row, it's now got 2020 in that variable. So this calculation here is going to be for 2020. And so you can get the calculations for each year by using the variable instead of hard coding the year into there. So let's submit this and take a look. And you can see previously we had 1 outcome. Now we're going to see 4 outcomes, right? So because we have 4 years worth of data, so we have a calculation for each year. So this is going to be our beginning balance for assets for each year. Let's say we wanted to even step it up a little bit, right? Let's say we wanted the beginning balance for each year, but also for each finance type, not just assets, but equity and all the other different values that come in this, right? So expense, liability, we can do all of those. So what we have to do is we just need to set another variable, right? Instead of hard coding asset, let's set the variable. We'll call it FT for finance type. And we'll just throw that in there. We've already got our return, right? So now instead of doing this for where finance type equals asset, we'll say where finance type equals our variable. Now we're going to have the calculation for every year for every individual finance type. So for each unique instances of these 2 fields, you're going to get a different calculation. So that's all I've got. That is going to be variables in kind of a quick, simple way. Hope you are able to kind of start using this and working it into your reports. And I hope it really brings you some value. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.